Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan and let's jump right in. Before we start, hit the subscribe button and then swack that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. So, I mentioned in my goals and dreams video for 2021 that I am a massive Stephen King fan and I've set myself a challenge for this year. My challenge is to read all of his unread work that I've not read by the end of this year. So today, in this video, I was going to go through all the books that I've not read, show them to you, and show how badly I'm going to fail this challenge. So, let's get started in showing the books I have to read this year. The first book on the list that I need to read is The Dead Zone. I like this copy. It's very dark, and obviously I'm guessing it's a really early copy because it only says it's got the 4 books previous. But got this really cheap, but I really want to read this. The next book on my list is Firestarter. I've got mixed feelings about this book. I don't know whether I want to read this yet or not. I don't know. And my next book is Different Seasons. One of his most famous books. I mean, this has got Rita Hayworth from the Shawshank Redemption on it, Apt Pupil, The Body, which is led me into Stand By Me, and The Breathing Method. Like, come on. I'm nervous to read this, I'll be honest. The next book on my list is Thinner. This is a Richard Bachman book. Obviously, Richard Bachman is Stephen King, but under a pseudonym. It's quite a short book as well. I don't know about this one either. Again, I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous about certain books. I just am. The next book on my list is a short story collection, Skeleton Crew. I'm not really into short stories. I read Night Shift and I loved it, but I don't know. Tell me if any of these books are really good. And the next one is the Bachman books. I read Rage and I wasn't a big fan of it, so I've got The Long Walk, Roadwork, and The Running Man left on this. I'm kind of putting it off, I'll be honest. And the next book on my list is The Tommyknockers. Again, I hear mixed things about it, so I'm kind of putting it off. I don't know. This book on my list is The Dark Half. I've heard more good things about this one than bad things. Again, I'm just nervous to read it. I don't know why, I just am. The next book on this list is a big ass book. Big. This is 4 Past Midnight. That's a big book. This book has The Langoliers in it, Secret Window, Secret Garden, The Library Policeman, and The Sundog. I will get to this. I will. Well, it's part of my challenge, isn't it? So I have to. I've got another short story collection for you on this one. This one is Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Is there any need for a book to be this big? This one's got some amazing books. I mean, this has got Stuff for the Little Children in it, It Grows on You, Chattery Teeth. Like, some of these books that I hear are meant to be like mind-blowingly amazing. Sorry, Right Number. I've heard so many good things about that one. The House on Maple Street, Umni's Last Case. I've just heard so many amazing things about this one. I'm kind of excited to read this. The next book on my list is Rose Madder. I've been hearing more bad things than good things about this one. So I'm a little bit nervous as to read it at this time, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The next book on the list is Desperation. This is one of his all-time classics, and I've not read it. I read most of them, not read this one. I will read it though, because I've heard so many amazing things about this. I've heard it's like so dark and creepy, and it helps that the text is quite big, even though it's a biggish book. It's not huge, but yeah. The next book on my list is Bag of Bones. Again, I hear mixed things about this one. You don't hear a lot about this book, but when you do, it's very like, and it's like, well, it's alright. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear it's amazing, you need to read it. Do you know what I mean? If it's one of his quieter books and people are like, well, it puts you off. I know it's people's opinions, but do you know what I mean? The next book on the list is Hearts in Atlantis. I'm pretty sure this is 4 interconnecting stories. I believe this is 4 interconnecting stories that's all about the Vietnam War and how it affects different people, I believe. I'm interested. This is going to be an interesting one. The next book on my list is Stephen King and Peter Straub doing Black House. This is the sequel to The Talisman. I read The Talisman, loved that book, loved it. It was so cool. I've been a bit nervous to pick this one up because I've heard a lot of people say that it's not as good as The Talisman. And it also links into The Dark Tower, which I have read. I've read all the Dark Towers. Yeah, nervous again about this one. The next book in my list, and I think it's one of the coolest covers I've ever seen, is Everything's Eventual. What I like about this cover is you'll see the tiny speck of blood there, and as you turn it round, it has a little bit of writing here, which is cool. And you turn it round and there's just blood everywhere, and that's totally badass. That's just cool. Again, short story collection. It's got 14 in here. See if there's any big ones that I've heard of. Autopsy Room 4 is meant to be amazing. The Death of Jack Hamilton's meant to be good. Little Sisters of Alluri is meant to be a Dark Tower short story. Dark Tower short story. Lunch at the Gotham Cafe is meant to be quite good. 1408 made into that film with John Cusack. Yeah. I think that's going to be quite a good one, I'll be honest. That one. My next story is from a Buick 8. I've heard a lot of bad things about this one. People say it's trying to be like, I've heard people say it's trying to be like Christine, but then it's just not as good. I don't know. I don't have any feelings about this one yet. We'll find out as I read it. The next book is a hated novel by him. And I think it's got a contender for one of the coolest covers. Cell. I mean, how cool is that? It's dark and creepy and it's cool. Love the cover. but apparently the story is absolutely rubbish, so we'll see. The next book on my list is Doomakey. I've heard a lot of amazing things about this story. Like, just purely amazing. They say, like, oh my god, you haven't read it, you need to read it. Oh my god. Don't know why they're talking American accents, but they are. Apparently it's so amazing. Yeah, it's a big book, so been a little bit nervous. Just purely because of all of the hype about it, basically. The next book on my list is the one I'm currently reading. I started it earlier this month and I'm about less than halfway through. I am 317 pages into it and it's like 850, so nowhere near halfway actually. 11/22/63. It's I love it. I love it. It's extremely info heavy, especially in the first couple of 100 pages. I'm just working my way through it. I'm reading it slower than I expected to, so I'm going to have to speed it up with these next 20 books, aren't I? Yeah. Okay. Next one on my little treasures is The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. I read the first one. I read the first story. Actually, I didn't even read it all, which is bad. I read up to the 4th chapter, and all I remember is that I wasn't a fan. That's all I remember. I wasn't a fan. I'm hoping the book's better, like the rest of the book. It's little short stories. I don't know. The first story is meant to drag you in. It didn't drag me in. It bored me. And the story's not meant to do that. It's not meant to bore you. I'm a little disappointed. But I'm hoping it's got some better ones in here. The last story, the one I thought, the last one that I have, is his, technically it's its newest one. It came out in May 2020, and it is If It Bleeds. Do you know what? I've not heard any reviews on this. I tried to keep away so that I wasn't going to be influenced when I read it. It worked that well that I didn't actually hear anything about it ever. The short stories that are in here, there's only 4, is Mr. Harrigan's Phone, Life of Chuck, If It Bleeds, and Rat. I don't know. I've also pre-ordered his next 2 books as well. One's called Later, which comes out March. Technically, the softcover comes out March the 2nd or March the 3rd, but I have held back for the hardcover, as you can see over here, and that comes out March 30th. So it's going to be a nice little birthday present to myself. And he also announced his new book 2 days ago, and I immediately pre-ordered it. It's called Billy Summers, and it comes out August the 2nd, August the 3rd. I don't know whether I'm going to add these in to this challenge, because he's actively trying to ruin this challenge for me, isn't he? Yeah. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope I do the challenge. I'll continue to tell you how it's going, trying to get my words out. If you like this video, brilliant, fantastic. If you want to leave a comment, tell me what books you've read and what books I should read next. Leave a comment, tell me. I reply to every comment. And if you like this, do you want to see more of what I'm going to do, more challenges, more just everything, hit the subscribe button down there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.